Welcome. This is the second part of the Python for Beginners series. Today, we'll be talking more about numbers and strings. Hi guys, my name is Richel Attafuah. I'm a second year grad student reading statistics at Miami University, and I'm excited I'm doing this series. Let's get into it.
So today, we'll learn how to perform basic math in Python. We'll learn how to understand the order of operation, how to combine strings, and we'll learn how to convert between numbers and text. So we already know these basic math operations. Let's see how they look in Python. So addition still looks plus, as we already know in Python. Subtraction is the same. Multiplication, we looked at it in the first video. It's like the star. Division, kind of like backslash. Floor division, then modulus, then exponent. We'll talk more about it with these simple examples. Suppose we assign A. So A is our variable name. 10 is our integer. Then B, a variable name. 3 our integer. So with addition, A plus B. So we are going to look at how this works. We're going to run this. So we are using Python here as a calculator. So we see A plus B is 13, as we know. Same for the subtraction, multiplication. Now we look at the division. So the one sign, which we said is normal division, gives us floating point numbers. We spoke more about floating point numbers in the first video, that they give you decimals. But the second one, which is the floor division, just gives you an exact number. So if you look at it, we have 3.33333. Sorry about that. If you look at it, you see we have 3.33333. So it gives you that decimal, that floating point number. So if you just use the single backslash. But the double one, floor division, just gives us the floor of the number, right? And modulus gives us the remainder. That is the percentage sign in Python. And exponent is just double star. We said that one star was multiplication, double of that becomes exponent. So what is the order of operation? I love to call it the PEMDAS. So that is bracket, exponent, multiplication, division, then addition, subtraction. So Python also uses those same operations. I think some of us are also familiar with board mass, where B is bracket, but here I'm just using P as parenthesis. So it's basically the same thing. So order of operation, as we learned in our basic school mathematics, is equally important here in Python. So let's consider this very simple example. We have a bracket with 2 plus 3, and a bigger bracket times 4. So Python is going to use the same order of precedence in operation. It's going to consider the bracket first before it considers exponent, then followed, as I spoke about, as a PEMDAS. So we're going to look at more examples. And considering this one by the rule, parentheses. So there's no smaller parentheses. So the next one to go to is exponent. We need to treat this side first, because this is 3 exponent 2. Right? Then division. There's no division. The multiplication. So 2 times 3. So the answer you get here from the exponents times 2 before it moves to the addition. So that is the order of precedence or operation that Python uses. Now let's get to strings. So with strings, how then do we put strings together? The right word we use is concatenation. So how do we do that? So here we are trying to put the first name and the second name together. We can use addition, as you can see here. So we are saying put the first and the last name together, but separate them with a space. Or we want to repeat hi 3 times. We say, oh, hi times 3. Let's see how that looks like. Hi, hi, hi. So that also works in Python for strings. And don't forget, as I mentioned, that for Python to recognize that this is a string, you need to put it in quotation marks. So we are going to look at how to convert between types. In the first video, we spoke about the different types we have. Integer, strings, Boolean, we spoke about them, remember? Now we're going to look at how to be able to move between these data types: float, integer, string, Boolean. So how do we move from string to a number, int to float, float to int? So let's look at that. So you can do that by simply mentioning the keyword. If you want to move from float to int, just mention the keyword float. Int to float, mention the keyword int. String to int to string, just use the keyword string. Just as we did in the first video, using the keyword type to know the type of the data. So let's use this basic example. Age, our variable name, equals 25. So we want to convert from an integer to a string. How do we do it? Simple. Use a keyword string. So we are going to say string age, right? So treat age as a string, not an integer. Same here. We are going to put 5 in quotation. I told you anytime you use quotation in Python, Python treats it as a string. So saying int or 5 in a quotation is simply saying treat this 5 in a quotation, which looks like a string, as an integer. Simple, right? So same for the very last example. Float string 3.14. So treat the string 3.14 as a float. Let's see how this looks like. Simple. Just as I explained. So it's treating the age in the first statement as a string. Treating int in the second statement, the 5, as an integer, and 3.14 as the float. So that is why this did not throw an error. Imagine I take the float from there and run that. See what we have. It just repeated it twice because it treated it as a string and not a float. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I keep it simple and interesting so that you fall in love in Python as I have. I hope you enjoyed. Please share with your friends, and we're going to delve more deeper in our next video, continuing this basic Python series. Put in the comment section what you're looking out for, what you want to know more, what you want me to emphasize. Just let me know. And if you check in the description, I have a link to a Medium article that goes deeper into details on these videos. And I also have the GitHub link so that you can access all the codes for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.